Shalom, all praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you Akim that's out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of the highways and byways, going down the streets, teaching and preaching, and also by way of the internet. Shalom to you very few sisters that's out there listening and learning as well. It's your brother Nayap, and I'm back with another news update. This fair use on all these videos. Fair use. Okay, this is for educational purposes only. Fair use is for educational purposes only. This is not for any kinds of monetary gain.
AI just got a $1 million bounty to cure brain disease. 55 million people have dementia today. By 2050, that's 165 million. Bill Gates just dropped $1 million on an AI contest. The goal? To beat Alzheimer's disease. Teams compete to build AI agents that think, plan, and discover new treatments. AI agents will dig through decades of patient records in minutes, data that human doctors would take years to review. The winning AI tool will be free for scientists worldwide. Google's AI already cracked protein structures and won a Nobel Prize. Microsoft's AI beats human doctors 4 times out of 5 at diagnosing complex diseases. What other diseases need the AI treatment? AI just got a $1 million bounty to cure brain disease. 55 million people have dementia today. By 2050, that's 165 million. Bill Gates just dropped $1 million on an AI contest. The goal? To beat Alzheimer's disease. Teams compete to build AI agents that think, plan, and discover new treatments. AI agents will dig through decades of patient records in minutes, data that human doctors would take years to review. The winning AI tool will be free for scientists worldwide. Google's AI already cracked protein structures and won a Nobel Prize. Microsoft's AI beats human doctors 4 times out of 5 at diagnosing complex diseases. What other diseases need the AI treatment?
Over 350,000 black women were laid off. People getting fired from LinkedIn. Microsoft is replacing people's jobs with AI. Yep, it's finna get. I'm about to say it's finna get serious. It's serious, and it's going to get worse. more black women are going to get fired, and black men. People don't know where their last meal, not that last meal, but next meal is going to come from. People don't know how they going to pay their bills. Dog, this economy is effed up. The job market is complete shit. People are suffering. And then I be coming across these videos where I understand people trying to motivate people by saying, man, this is the time to start a business. Motherfucker, if people don't have no money to support your business, why would you start a business? Because who's going to buy the shit? Some people don't want to start a business. They want to use their degree. Doctors were getting laid off. Nurses getting laid off. This stuff is affecting everybody, bro. Hey, man. If you don't believe in Jesus, you might want to start.
Yeah, his name ain't fucking Jesus, man. You know, you can believe in that white devil if you want.
You might want to throw up a prayer because it's going to get worse. Listen, it's going to get worse. It is a darn shame that in today's times, you need at least 5 sources of income just to make ends meet, bro. I'll be praying for everybody.
An elevated fire risk in the West today due to this extremely hot weather that's going around. There are red flag warnings in effect in much of Southern California with triple-digit temperatures expected across multiple states. Look at that map and look at everything starting with a 1 and all that red.
We're here at Fire Station 88 where things are pretty quiet this morning. This is one of the staging areas for the city's response to this heat wave. We're talking temperatures possibly reaching in some areas 110 degrees. They will peak later on this morning. They will continue through Friday. As you mentioned, fire is the biggest concern. We're told about 100 additional staff members have been brought in. Already yesterday there was a brush fire. It unfolded about 60 miles south of here in Laguna Niguel, where flames came very close to several neighborhoods before crews were able to quickly gain the upper hand. Southern California, I think it's easy to say, and what could best be described as fire fatigue. You had the Canyon fire just a few weeks ago. Of course, the LA fires back in January. I spoke with Fire Captain Adam Van Gerpen, who's urging people to be on standby, have go bags, and be prepared.
There's no such
Five Canadian soldiers are suspended from their duties after allegations of hateful conduct. A video has surfaced of the soldiers at a party where some performed Nazi salutes.
It was apparently shot in 2023. What we have been told by D&D sources is that this looks like it was shot at a house party. It was apparently a clip of less than 30 seconds. A soldier holding the flag of the Royal 22nd Regiment of Andus is apparently consuming a drug of some kind. At the end, a couple of soldiers give the Nazi salute. Military police are also involved in this, and as far as we know, no charges have been laid.
This is
Hi guys, just the latest report on what's going on. So they've had an emergency briefing in Congress about these drones. One Congress member has stated that there are confirmed reports of the US Coast Guard seeing these things coming out of the Atlantic Ocean. That is the latest news. At least 50 drones were witnessed coming out of the Atlantic Ocean and then subsequently following, shadowing the Coast Guard and then going onto the mainland, then coming back and then going below the horizon of the Atlantic Ocean again. So do with with that information what you will. There are also unconfirmed reports that they're not in fact drones, but actually orbs. Again, I'm getting orbs coming up quite a lot again from certain news outlets, as well as the podcast Redacted that got sent some images with regards to the incursions going on over New Jersey right now and neighboring states. I mean, it's pretty interesting seeing how these guys are dealing with this. There's a lot of frustration in New Jersey. Obviously the New Jersey mayor.
There are 3 guided missile destroyers deploying off the coast of Venezuela. It's all part of President Trump's plan to help combat drug cartels in Latin America. For more now, we are joined by national security correspondent Liz Landers, who's been tracking all of this. And Liz, what is the U.S. plan in Venezuela?
Yeah, Andrew, well, while the world has been focused on these peace talks that President Trump is attempting to broker between Russia and Ukraine, the U.S. has slowly been building up a large military presence in the Caribbean near Venezuela. A source familiar told Scripps News that the move is part of President Donald Trump's effort to combat those threats from Latin American drug cartels. The source confirming to Scripps News that 3 U.S. guided missile destroyers, the USS Gravely, USS Jason Dunham, and the USS Samson, are being deployed in these efforts, with some news outlets also reporting that the ships should arrive there imminently off the coast of Venezuela. So this will bring the military posture to about 4,000 sailors and Marines, and the broader region will also have several P-8 spy planes, warships, and at least 1 attack submarine, that according to Reuters. Now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was asked about the U.S. military going after drug traffickers late last week. Listen to what he said.
There are designated narco-terrorist groups operating in the region. Some of them are utilizing international airspace, international waters to transit poison into the United States. And those groups will be confronted. The president's made that clear from the time he operated.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro announcing on Monday that his country will mobilize more than 4 million militia members, saying that the militias will be, quote, prepared, activated, and armed throughout Venezuela. So he said in this televised address on Monday that we will, quote, defend our seas, our skies, and our lands. We liberated them. We guard and patrol them. No empire will touch the sacred soil of Venezuela, nor should it touch the sacred soil of South America, Andrew. So really some military tension building up in the region there.
Bad news for Israel. Kim Jong-un has called out Netanyahu. Recently, North Korea has banned Zionism and is now giving the death penalty for it. And also, Kim is calling on the United Nations to arrest Netanyahu for his war crime, saying that his heart is with the Palestinian people. Now, if you're wondering, this isn't just all talk, no action. No, North Korea is getting involved. North Korea is sharing with Iran nuclear secrets, nuclear blueprints, so that if something breaks out, we don't know what the hell Kim's going to give them. And on the Palestinian side, Kim has ordered his generals by any way that they can to get humanitarian food, medicine, supplies into Gaza. Also, some rumors that Kim wants to put some other things in Gaza.
Well, breaking fuck the news, it is being reported that Donald Trump will be walking the streets tonight of D.C. with the police and the National Guard, and he says they're there to do a job. Somebody could do the wildest thing ever. But not only that, how much money are we about to spend to guard the president to walk the crime-ridden streets of D.C.? I'll keep you updated with more bullshit.
So now it doesn't matter, Scott Jennings, that voters are not happy with what Trump's doing, don't feel safer, all of that.
I don't care what they think. I mean, these are the same people who elected the mayor and city council that ran the city's public safety into the ground in the first place.
You don't care what the residents...
They don't know what's good for them.
You don't care what the residents of D.C. think.
I do not. I do not care one bit, and I'll tell you something else.
I do remember just a couple weeks ago you were saying, well, secretly, D.C. residents really want this because they know the crime is so bad. Now we actually have the numbers that say, will Trump's federal takeover reduce violent crime? 65% say no, just 20% say yes. Do you feel like the presidents of federal officers makes you feel safer, more safe, 18%, less safe, 61%?
Why would they say that? They're out arresting criminals. They're arresting illegal aliens. They're getting illegal guns off the streets. An MS-13 illegal alien was taken out off the streets the other night. They're obviously safer, but there's another population that cares about public safety in D.C. It's all the people who visit there. We have people that go there, millions of people from all over the country. They deserve to go to a national capital that's not in disgrace and despair, and that's what they're doing in Washington.
America, we have a whole nother problem. Walmart is recalling apple juice in 25 states due to high arsenic levels. What is going on? So Great Value brand apple juice is being recalled due to an elevated level of inorganic arsenic. What's organic arsenic? Anyways, they're exclusively sold by Walmart. So the FDA initiated a recall on August 15th and was classified a Class 2 recall. Basically, we have a problem, but if we don't fix it, it's going to be a bigger problem. But yeah, they were sold basically to half the country. These will be Walmart stores in Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vermont, Virginia, and West Virginia. Like I said, half the damn country. So surprisingly, I didn't even know this, apple juice already has inorganic arsenic. But the FDA has set levels of 10 parts per billion. Well, they tested out at 13.2.
I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C., from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years. We're not playing games. We're going to make it safe. And we're going to then go on to other places. But we're going to stay here for a while. We want to make this absolutely perfect. It's our capital, but the crime numbers are way down. I'm looking at, you saw some of the stats. They just read them out to me inside, the numbers that we haven't seen here ever. And I think it's probably, right now, to me, I feel very safe now, and I'm hearing people are very safe, but I know within 2 weeks it's going to be, Pam, it's going to be at a level that's even far superior.
According to the UN, hundreds of Palestinians have been shot and killed by Israel Defense Forces and foreign military contractors at or near GHF aid sites. We spoke to a new eyewitness who concurs. He told us it's not only the IDF shooting, but also personnel hired through American subcontractors to secure GHF sites.
I thought I was going there to help people.
When this man was hired by an American logistics company to drive aid trucks in Israel, he says he had no idea it meant he'd be working with the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation inside Gaza. He asked us to conceal his identity, dub over his voice, and change his name because he fears reprisals. We will call him Mike. He secretly recorded several videos, including this one. What you are hearing, he says, is the sound of gunfire from brightly lit GHF sites fired at Palestinians seeking aid.
It took me 2 or 3 days to realize that they were actually shooting at people. They weren't shooting at combatants.
So, did you think these were warning shots?
No, it's indiscriminate.
And who was doing the shooting?
The IDF and the American security personnel. They've got positions on each corner of the sites, and they would often shoot at exactly the same time as the Israeli soldiers.
We do not see who is shooting on the videos Mike gave us, but he said there was not a single occasion he observed when there was no shooting, and he was at the sites on average 5 days a week for several weeks. CBS News has seen his work schedule, and metadata from his cell phone confirms the dates and times he was in Gaza. CBS News has been reporting on the almost daily shootings and deaths at or near GHF sites since GHF began operating its sites at the end of May. Palestinians would gather near the sites hours before they opened to be the first to grab food.
I was breathing quite heavily because I'd never seen a crowd of people behave with such intensity and such desperation.
What's the worst thing you experienced?
I was brought outside the perimeter and I was tasked with cleaning up the remains of animals and some humans. What had happened is that there had been so much shooting that human remains had been left there and the smell got quite bad. So the security contractors had complained and the IDF said it wasn't their business. So I was tasked with cleaning it, but I wasn't warned what it was.
And you were told to clean up everything there and do what?
Just put it in the back of a truck, which took everything away. I struggle to talk about it. I even feel a bit clammy, and I can feel my chest beating harder. I just shut down, really.
Over 1,800 Palestinians have died trying to get food, more than 1,000 near GHF sites, according to the UN's Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. GHF says allegations that their contractors have shot aid seekers and mishandled their remains are categorically false and utterly baseless. They have criticized CBS News' refusal to provide them with more detailed information.
We have some major news right now. Russian missiles have struck an American business in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin has struck an American business in Ukraine following talks with Donald Trump in Alaska. Now, before I continue, this is not going to trigger the United States military getting involved in this war. Putin didn't strike U.S. territory, but he did strike a United States business. According to NPR, this business was located in western Ukraine, causing significant damage and more than a dozen injuries. The business that was hit is called Flex. It produces civilian electronic components and products with more than 100 offices and factories worldwide. It was founded in the United States, has its headquarters in both Singapore and Austin, Texas. This is not a military business, it's a civilian one, and it was struck by Russia despite ceasefire negotiations. It's clear where Vladimir Putin stands on whether or not he wants a ceasefire moving forward. Spread the word so more people know.
This is crazy. Like, come on.
And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Issued a new public service announcement, a new warning to all smartphone users, including those that have iPhones and Androids. They're saying that there is a new sophisticated AI scam that is very difficult to detect, that is potentially going to be causing a lot of harm to a lot of people that are not aware of this, and that is why they have just issued out this warning. Now, I'm going to share with you the latest headlines so you can see it for yourself as take a look. FBI urges all iPhone and Android users to be on high alert for suspicious texts from one person that could compromise security. Here's who it is. Here's another one coming out today. You can see May 16, 2025, FBI warns senior U.S. officials are being impersonated using texts and AI-based voice cloning. They're saying it is extremely sophisticated. We're going to cover the details. Here's one coming out in the last 24 hours. FBI warns of AI voice messages impersonating top U.S. officials. And so you can see it for yourself. Take a look here. This is the official public.
ضرنا واحد حالنا اتدمرنا هدول مدنيين ليش يقصوهم؟ ليش يقصوهم؟ مدنيين انا حسابي مش قادر اقف عليها. انا برد انا نازل على اكثر من شهر من شهرين. هاي حالنا هاي بدي اطلع فلاش بدي اطلع اكل بدي اطلع شرب. لا حياة لي من التنادي. هدول ايش ذنبهم الاطفال؟ ايش ذنبهم الناس؟ ايش ذنبهم الشيوخ؟ ايش ذنبهم المرضى؟ هاي حالنا طلع كيف؟ هاي الخيام كانت محلاها كنا ساكنين ومبسوطين. هايهم قالوا المنطقة الآمنة في جنوب قطاع غزة. هاي المنطقة الآمنة. هاي أنا من نزوح لنزوح من شمال قطاع غزة أنزح للوسطى من الوسطى انزحت. اتعبنا يا عالم اتعبنا. كله طلع الطحين مغمس بالرمل وبالانقاض والحمد لله على كل حال. طلع الشظايا يعني الله سترنا. هذه الشظيه هذه بتقتل بني ادمين هذه. طب لمتى الكلام هذا؟ بكفي رسمي بكفي. الاغراض هذه كلها يعني انا طلعتها من تحت الانقاض وابصر تكون نافعه يعني كمان.
چهار سه دو آتش.
You'll have to pay more to buy a PlayStation 5 console in the U.S. Sony announced a $50 price hike on all of its PS5s, blaming the increase on a, quote, challenging economic environment. A standard console will now cost a shade under $550. This comes as President Trump's sweeping tariffs on imports from countries like China and Japan take full effect.
Es muy grande la causa que defendemos. Así que el cambio de régimen, además de ilegal, es inmoral. Y aquí no lograrán ni colonizar, ni esclavizar, ni a Venezuela, ni a América del Sur, ni a nuestra América. Y si algún día tocan a Venezuela, toda la América se levantará por nosotros, por el pueblo de Bolívar.
This war, as lethal as it is basically now being operated on laptops out of garages like this one all across the front line. The war here in Ukraine is often described as the world's first drone war. We are with a Ukrainian drone unit in this unmarked garage. And this screen gives you a sense of what they can see, what the Ukrainians can see. Now, and this is not a classified screen. We're not giving away any military secrets. This purple line here represents the front line. All of this territory here on the screen is inside Ukrainian territory. But this represents the front line, and these pockets here are concentrations of Russian troops. And all of these yellow dots that you see are Russian drones. Now, these are Russian drones that can see the Ukrainians. These are Russian drones that have the capability of dropping bombs. And this unit, this Ukrainian drone unit, watches this screen.
And this drone seems to be looking for the entrance to that bunker or cellar where they're hiding. Where the rest of the troops are.
Watches where the Russians are, knows what the Russians can see, and it's a game of who can find the enemy faster and who can destroy them.
Shalom.